What is up, YouTube? In the garage, bright and early. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Sun's barely up. But if you saw the last video, I posted, did a little garage sale at the house, and then the wall neck swap. Bought a girder for the chopper, the Ironhead chopper that I'll be working on here soon, along with this Evo motor that I gotta start working on once I get space in my garage again. So garage is still absolutely destroyed from the garage sale. I haven't finished cleaning all that, but I found the right trim ring for the FLH, so now I just gotta clean this up. Got the little clip, had to buy a new one at the swap. A whole trim bezel ring for a tiny little spring clip for the headlight that I didn't have on it for whatever reason. But the Ironheads are gone. So I got the chopper, shovelhead chopper, up at the shop right now. I just left it there because I'm super low on space at the moment. But the Ironheads are gone. Turned those into a pile of cash, and then made the best or the worst decision of my life so far. Let's open the garage. That happened yesterday. Rinker 18-footer. It's got a 3-liter Mercruiser Alpha outdrive. I don't know anything about boats, but I do know some of the mechanicals. Looked at 2 yesterday. They were in the price range, so basically turned 2 Ironheads into a boat. I'll get this uncovered here in a little bit, and then we'll come back, but a quick once over on this. So far, the only issues on this boat, we ran it in the driveway from the guy that we bought it from. Everything seemed to be working. Dottie's dad used to work at a marina and or a boat place that sold new boats, so he's pretty well versed in them. He came with us, checked it out for me, because I know nothing other than that looks cool, and this is a little bit bigger for us. We're right near the chain in Illinois, so not too far from the water. We've been kicking it around forever, and opportunity finally presented itself. Plus, when you got a pocket full of cash, if you're me, pocket full of cash means I need to spend it quick on something. So I ended up grabbing a boat, trailer, and all the other stuff. It's working, it's titled, should work well, but when we went to leave last night, it was kind of dusk. This trailer light was out. I already started messing with this last night while it was still hooked up to the car. Open this up, and obviously you can see the broken glass remnants in there. Bulb was completely seized in the socket, because on the boat one, since they get dropped into water, you got your little inner cover and the outer. Both of those together allow it to go into the water without getting the housing wet. Well, that inner socket cover, when I pulled it all apart, I pulled the test light out and the voltmeter. I got voltage from the plug all the way back. This side marker is not working. That rear is not working. They are a single circuit. Everything on the other side works. So no brake light, no tail light on this coming home, which was a little sketchy. I don't like doing that. Also used the Volvo to pull the said boat. It worked. Volvo wasn't really that happy. We're gonna try it with the truck today and hopefully get this thing out on the water for the first time since we've had it, which is 12 hours ago. And what else? So I gotta fix the trailer light first, so I'm out here this morning. Oh, and then on the inside of this wonderful giant waste of money, a quick little super 90s pink interior scheme. But the trim button on the throttle linkage, so trim down works fine, trim up is not working. But the trailer button works to kick the motor up, which tells me that the solenoid is working. I did a quick little search on the interwebs, and I believe I have a cover somewhere on here. I don't know if it's this one, or maybe it's this one. This is like that trim limit switch. If this is too corroded, this switch, I believe, will stop it from going up because it thinks that it's all the way up. I don't know. Trailer light first, and then we'll deal with trying to figure out how to work on a boat, because I have no idea what I'm doing. We'll be back in a little bit once I get this trailer thing kind of figured out. Oh, that's what I did. on the back side of the light, I got the 3 wires or 2 wires from the light cut off right behind here. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see, so I don't know how much filming I'm going to do. And then I disconnected the crossover wire over here. These were all just twist connectors. So we're going to go through and put some of these guys on there. And then same thing on the inside rail, the one that runs from the front to the back, disconnected that. So I just got to reconnect everything. I tested them. We do have power. And then got into here, found this was completely corroded. The light bulb was absolutely stuck in here, so that's shattered, trying to get it out. Rusted together on the inside, so we're going to clean up this inner terminal area and then reconnect the wires, and in theory we should be good to go. So we will continue messing with this. Once I get the trailer light hooked up to the car, we can test it and go from there. A little quick bit of work here. We have our little side marker light and tail light working. I can't test the, actually, I'm gonna leave you guys here. I'm gonna jump in the car and tap the brake. Hopefully that lights up. Other side's also working. I'll come back and look at the footage and use the camera to my advantage. Ended up pulling these out of the washer spacer sleeves that they have on the inside of the trailer. I'm just going to zip tie these back up there, heat shrunk them, put them all back on, so the back side should be good. And like I said, now I don't have power here. What happened? What did I do? Did I lose power on this side too? I did. Which brings me to the last little bit that I found. I think it's one of the grounding issues up here. This was all working. I'm gonna go through and put some actual connectors on here too. When I jiggle this wire around, that comes back on. So I can see it over there now. That front marker light is working. The only light that I didn't get working yet is this one right here. So that's gonna be next. I'm not sure how that comes off. I tried prying on it. Didn't seem like it wanted to go. So that'll be next. Just makes it way easier to diag stuff up front. But if I jiggle these around, I don't know if it's this white one I think white's the ground on these. We'll go through the rest of this, clean up the front section of the harness. So this is all one piece. I'll put some heat shrink on there too, so that'll hold up a little bit better. But going into the trailer seems okay. I'm not gonna rewire the entire thing if I don't have to, but we at least have working lights in the rear. That's the important part. If I can get this side marker fixed, cool. Like I said, back ones are working again. Hopefully the brake light works before the ground cut, or one of the wires up front cut out. But there is a bolt on the back of this. I'm gonna undo the bolt, yank this out, and see what I gotta do to get this bulb out. I don't know if this is standard or metric. Hopefully it's standard, because I don't have many metric tools. Oh, that's nice. There's a screw in between the bolts, so you can't really get anything on here. Would not be able to get an open end on here. I couldn't tell if you're just supposed to pop the lens off or if this needs to be unbolted to fix. So if I'm doing this wrong, let me know in the comments. New to all of this. But this is the only thing I saw holding this together. Man. This is tedious. And time lapse. Okay, there we have it. This is out. Now it looks like I got 2 screws here and here. I don't know what these do. Grab a Phillips here. Ground comes through. Alright, let's keep taking this farther apart than I probably have to. Let's see what's next underneath here. Onion, just peeling back the layers. Oh, this looks terrible. Well, here's what we're looking at on the inside of this. The bulb is right here. I'm guessing that's probably got a lot to do with it. I don't know if the bulb's shot or just the corrosion on here is that bad. Try and scrape this up as best we can. Completely green. I really don't know. I mean, this lens has to pop out somehow. Let's see if I can get a metal contact back somewhere on here. Just test it. All that's got to do is ground. All right, I'm gonna start prying on this light. If I break it, I break it. We can replace it. That's a 7435 West bar, in case I shatter this thing. Let's see if I can just buy one of these. Make my life way easier. I put the signal marker back in, or the side marker back in. It's so corroded and brittle, it's gonna break. Trying to pop this lens cover off to get to the bulb. Back socket's completely corroded, and whichever. They're 15 bucks for the actual one. I can replace it with a generic. I might just do an LED swap and put a 2-bolt design one in there. Because 17 bucks on something that might just dry rot and not be able to come apart again. I'd rather just spend the 15 bucks on a pair of LED ones and hopefully never have to worry about it again. So whichever one I decide, I'll get that once, get them ordered. But the backlights are working, which is the big part. So now onto the front. We're gonna clean up the wiring on the front tongue area. And then we can start messing around with the trim stuff. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, the plug is working on this end, so we're good there. Disconnect that so there's no power to it. Now, I'm getting rid of all of this junk. These are for your house, not for outdoor application. So one at a time, we'll just pop these apart. I cut some of the tape on these last night, but we're gonna bypass that and we'll put some actual connectors on here with some heat shrink. So we'll run these guys, little butt connectors, but these are the melty heat shrink ones. So cut off the excess crap. Start with some fresh leads here on the end. We'll do one at a time instead of doing them all. So, I mean, it's all color coded, so it really doesn't matter all that much, but drop this in. If you want to go real fancy, you could actually use a bigger size heat shrink on the inside, but it's a trailer. Not that big of a deal to me. These are quick, readily available, and easily fixable on the side of the road if I do have a problem. But we're trying to avoid that. Nice set of crimpers. Crimp that down there. I'll do the same thing on the other side. And the wire in. Lay this out. Crimp. So after I get all of them done, then I'll take a torch and melt all these down. It'll pull in and shrink around the wire. Should be good to go. I might actually electrical tape these a little bit too, just because there is a chance this will seal out of water. So I'll finish up these. We'll be back when I'm done. All done, heat shrunk. I'm gonna wrap this up with electrical tape, but connectors are done. Trailer lights are done. Now we're on to the inside. Just a couple things. We gotta fix the trim up button, which I believe is under this cover, so we're gonna get around to that in a minute. And then I was filling out some of the paperwork stuff on the registration, so we got the boat, doghouse open, Merc 3.0, so Iron Duke 4-cylinder, the bigger one, not the 2.5. And when I was messing around with this, there was a little bit of crap in the coolant hose, so we're gonna pop those out, clear that out before we take it out today. Try and avoid any overheating issues preemptively. And then I get to learn how to drive one. Ooh, wheel. Upper's free. Little chunky in there, not too bad. Got some tensioner springs on there, but just want to make sure this is all clear so we're not overheating. Hopefully the thermostat and everything else is good. We'll find out when we get out there. But we had some crap in there, so we'll call that good and slap her back together. Oh, I hate the sharp edges on zip ties that whoever did these spark plug wires left. It does not feel good. Good. All right. Now we got to work on the prop or the trim. If we click the key on here, horn works, blower works. Don't know what that one is. Bilge pump works. Trim down. Nothing on trim up. But if we tap the trailer works fine. Before we get down, look at how 90s and amazing this thing is. Because I need to get access to this adjuster. Okay, stop. Trim up, doesn't work, right? No. Can you hit that trailer button at the bottom? Bottom right corner. Hold it. What? Just press it and hold it. Good. Here's what we're gonna look at. Down here on the bottom side. The left side should be your trim, up and down. We're gonna open this up and see what it looks like. All of this was just quickly found on the internet, so hopefully they're right. If I gotta replace some stuff, that's fine too. Again, not a boat person. I have no idea how this stuff works, but I know how switches work. So we'll pop this off, take a look at the trim limit. Hopefully it's super corroded and we can just sand it down and get her working. Solenoid should be okay since it does work on the trailer up. There we have it. Well, it's not the cleanest in there. Grab a flathead. Oh yeah, she's dirty. So here's your contact points. We're gonna sand these down on the bottom, clean up this plate, and see if that does anything for us. Did not have to take out that center screw, but I'll leave it out because it's gonna be easier to clean. Let me start sanding, we'll be back. All right, got this all sanded down. We're gonna drop this back in. Try it without the cap. In theory, this should work, and then we get some trim action. Down. All right, it's fixed. I worked on the other side. I'm preemptively going to check the other side and just clean those up while I'm here, just because it took zero time at all and worked so well. So make sure that one works, because we don't want that not working when we get out there. So I'll clean this one up now too. And then I think we're off to the store. We got to get some pier ropes and other miscellaneous odds and ends. Throw the toolkit in here and go out on the water. Just kidding, this is nothing like the other one. Don't know what any of this does, so we're putting the cap right back on. It's a little corroded down here. Give that a quick little wipe down. That'll go back on. I don't feel like researching that anymore. I've been out here long enough this morning. So cover will go back on. There are 2 contact points on the other one, so maybe that's your up and down. Who knows? Somebody let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's one of you out here that's familiar with these. Oh well, back on, start loading up, hook this thing up to the truck, then to the store. All right, I think we're about good. Daddy's been kind of cleaning and laying some stuff out on the inside of this. Man, this is gonna be fun. Hopefully it's not like the first shakedown run on a bike or car, because don't want to break down on water. But we'll see what happens. Gonna wrap this one here. We'll catch you guys on the next one. I might get some footage. I might bring this into the boat. It is a GoPro after all. So I might throw this in the boat. I don't know how much we're gonna be doing out there. I'm gonna be learning. Daddy's dad's giving me a once-over boating lesson. Done this maybe twice ever in my whole life, so I like to know the ropes and get an expert opinion while we go through that, and then we can start enjoying the thing. So gas her up, hit the store, grab some of the final things we need, and then we'll be out on the water, hopefully. Wish me luck. Oh, that's the next day, Monday. Took the boat out Sunday, went around the lake, found a couple issues, but nothing I think is too major. Launched it with the truck, which pulls it fine. Backing up down a ramp with a manual without a wheel chock or a well-functioning e-brake, not so fun. So probably won't be doing that one again, unless we're at a soft entrance pier. I used probably one of the crappiest ones in town, but it was the cheapest to launch. Made it work, stalled it a couple times going down, dropping this in the water. Never launched a boat before, so lots of learning experiences. Also never drove a boat before. Did that yesterday. Had it up to speed, no issues mechanically on the motor. Temps were good, RPMs were good, no misses or anything like that. But it is leaking a little bit out of the exhaust, so that's gonna have to get addressed. It's the lower rubber boot, has a slight hole or crack somewhere in it, so it's spraying a little bit, but bilge pump was working. One split in the hose on that, but if you covered it with your hand, pumped everything out, so we should be good in that front. But got it back home. I know I went through and redid the trailer lights, but I ordered some LED submergible ones just because there was so much water in this. I didn't want to risk it, so just got some brand new housings and side markers because this one shot $15 to replace this, $32 for all new LED everything. So we're gonna start messing around with the trailer, get that squared away, and then start jamming on the exhaust hoses, get them off. I think there's a dealer right down the road that I can get parts from, so hopefully that'll work. I got a buddy that works there too at parts. We'll see. But last little update, sorry, I'm hot and sweating from trying to roll this thing around after I disconnected it from the truck on the driveway. Driveway's not very friendly for rolling wheeled vehicles because of the dips in there, or pulling motors, or really doing anything mechanical out here. So that's the end of this one. I'll update you guys as we progress on this or dive deeper into the motor a little bit more later this week. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.